It's time for Spirit Sessions, a view of the light, and I have got so much sage here to smudge everyone everywhere. So come on in, get your coffee, your tea, your smart water, whatever you're getting. Come on in today and join us. We're all one big family, and we enjoy coming and being with you guys every week. And today, for our special show, we all got coordinated with our colors. So check us out today. Yeah, I was smoking, huh, Nancy? Woo-hoo. So, happy Father's Day to everyone out there, even the mothers who have to be fathers. Everyone, welcome.
Amen.
It's a special time. I mean, we got to balance that yin and yang, right? The yin and yang and stuff. So, welcome to our show. And to make it so special, we have our you're not a returning guest, are you, Katie? You're like just a member that comes every now and then. So,
like a special correspondent.
Yeah. So,
like
so
the weather
welcome.
correspondent.
Welcome to our amazing correspondence. And today, Katie is going to be sharing with us the forecast for the summer solstice, which I guess is on Tuesday. Might as well start preparing. So what do we need to do, Katie? How do we prepare?
Oh, so much juicy, good stuff to talk about today, you guys. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but right here with you three beautiful, wonderful, amazing souls. I just love your show. I love the work that you do, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. So yeah, I come on, about 4 times a year whenever there's some major astrological events or, energetic events, just to, talk about it, share what's going on so that everyone watching can, understand and up level your awareness of the energies that are always, swirling around and through us and moving through us, imprinting us. And then, as we imprint that energy, it moves on and goes across the globe. And I think we are realizing more and more now how interconnected, humanity really is. It doesn't really matter as much anymore, where you live, what your little, mini world is like, because we can just click a button, and almost virtually be just about anywhere these days. So the more that we can, come together and learn to master our emotions and the energies around us, then we can start to ride the wave of that energy and make it work for us in ways that we can, start to co-create our lives and what we want to bring more in, and releasing out what we no longer need. So yes, we are celebrating over here. We all wore our little sunshiny colors today. We're celebrating the summer solstice that is almost upon us. Like Teresa said, it's coming in June 21st, which is Tuesday. And the solstice is just basically, it happens twice a year, and it marks a point of harmony, both within nature and also within ourselves, because we all have a circadian rhythm that kind of, moves along with the ebbs and flows and the greater rhythms of the cosmos. And so it's a perfect day of balance. It's going to be in the northern hemisphere, we will have the longest day of the year, the most sunshine. Hopefully, depending on where you're at. I'm in Seattle, so it's always kind of iffy. And then we've got, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's flip-flops. So then you will experience the shortest day of the year as we shift seasons and we shift cycles. So yeah, thank you, Nancy. So yeah, we've got the solstice coming in, and that basically also represents, like Nancy just pointed out, the solstice occurs as the sun moves into the sign of Cancer. And so what that is, it's a very, Cancers are so the water sign. They're very emotional, nurturing, intuitive, one of the most intuitive, of all of the zodiac signs. So very tapped into, their senses, psychic abilities, if you know a Cancer, go give them a hug, because they're the ones that just hold the family together, hold the connections and the relationships together. And so it's such a juicy, beautiful time right now. And it also signifies, we're switching from, the first 6 months, half the year, into the second phase of 2022. And so the energy right now, with the sun being, at the highest point, I'm going to just focus on the northern hemisphere when I talk, but if you're in the southern, you can just flip flop, everything I'm saying right now. But honoring the cycle of your life, just as we are honoring moving into this new cycle that we're in. And just to point out too, in the Chinese zodiac astrology system, the year 2022, we started, it's the beginning of a new 20-year cycle, greater energy. And so it's a year that is a mix of water and fire coming in, total opposites. And what happens when you've got any kind of new, longer cycle coming in, it's going to kind of, swirl things around, right? As the old kind of moves out and the new moves in. And then you've got fire and water energy. Think what happens, when they come together. Again, that first half of the year felt, I'm sure for a lot of you guys, like very, like you were just getting tossed around, right, in the ocean. And you're going to start to see that starting to kind of, now that we've gotten to that 6 month mark, starting to kind of settle out, and, maybe some more calm, that beautiful water energy that's just flowing, and your creativity starting to come forth. And the sun is high in the sky and very bright. And so we can use this energy in this time to really supercharge our own power, our own magic, and set some intentions for what you want to manifest the last half of the year. We've got a lot of light hitting us right now. I think, Teresa, you sent it out. It was very interesting news flash that we got just a few days ago, a massive solar flare. Or was that Nancy? I think it was Nancy, but she tagged you and I. Yeah. What'd you think of that? Did you get a chance to read it?
I know I didn't sleep that night.
Oh, good Lord. It was this massive solar flare. I mean, we're always kind of, getting hit with different, like I said, elements, in the sky. But this one was so big that I think the NOAA, one of the national agencies, like even had to put like a warning out for aircraft and for like, like electricity, anything, like my computer the last like 3 days, like, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times my internet's been like unstable. Yeah. Or, like your lights blink or here or there, and you're like, what? Normally you just don't really even know what's going on. But this is a perfect example of what I was saying earlier. Like, since I was able to read, that it was hitting, the earth and da 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 da, when all this stuff was happening, I didn't allow myself to get triggered and reactionary, right? And be like, why is my internet so unstable? I'm like, okay, yep, I gotta go with it, But
am I wrong, Katie, with that energy that comes in from the sun gets grounded in as thunder and lightning a lot of times? Like it causes lightning storms more often?
Yes. Did you have something up?
Oh, we had terrible storms the last week. How about you?
Yes.
I think everyone had some.
It's like, think about this, it's supercharging, you're right. It's because the energy that's coming off, like say the sun and, the stars and, a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today is plasma, it's light, it's plasma. What are our bodies? They're light and they're plasma. So yeah, just like what Rhonda said, she experienced looking outside and seeing, all of the supercharged electricity. That's also happening to us. It's happening to our nervous systems. It's unconscious to us. unless it gets to a point of like the solar flare where, tell me, raise your hand, type in the comments. Has anybody been having actual physical symptoms, even this last week, of like headaches, itchy, even itchy skin, like Rhonda was saying, with like that electricity, kind of feeling like you can't quite sit still. Have you guys?
Yeah.
I'd just be curious. Bex, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, definitely restless and itchy. Like I just feel like I'm just itchy and tingly and like, jittery almost. But I don't drink. I don't drink caffeine ever. I have no caffeine pretty much in my diet. So to have the jittery feeling is like, oh, okay, what's happening? Just not being able to settle down, but then also being extremely tired. It's a very weird combination.
Oh, interesting. Lisa's saying that she even saw a warning to wear sun protection. Wow, I didn't have that in my area. Since we're in Miami, absolutely, yeah. It's been very intense, and I like that Bex brought that up, that uneasiness, because I had probably 2 or 3 friends in the last, and this has even been going on longer than the last week. I could go into greater detail, but we are just really being hit right now with some very intense energy, and it's meant to up level us. I mean, again, it comes back to awareness. Kudos to anybody that's taken the time out today to tune in and to watch this, and to try to understand, because that is partly how we ground this energy in, like Rhonda was mentioning. Otherwise, the friends that I was talking to were just saying, I feel like I just have this anxiety, like this, my stomach, this nervousness, this uneasiness. And I've been feeling it myself too. And it's like, I need to get grounded. I just feel like I need to be grounding myself so much more, with how intense these energies are. So anything that you can be doing just to within your day, right now, it's very important, because this energy that we've been in, like I said, this kind of swirl, it's still, just because we hit ding, like the 6-month mark, it's not going to immediately go away. You know what I mean? It's going to take, this is a 20-year shift, right? Kelly's feeling it. It's intense. Yeah. And it's like, it's not your own just anxiety per se. I mean, part of it might be, but because you can't, like the people I was talking to, it's not like they can say, oh, this happened that caused me to feel anxious. It's more like, why am I feeling this way? For me, it's headaches. I just never get headaches. And I know 2 other people that just all of a sudden started getting migraines, and they're like, this came out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know what's causing this. So, Nancy, you're so good at grounding. Yeah, maybe you can add, and we can put up here being grounded, because I know you really, work on your energy, and you do a great job of doing that, keeping yourself level. So just be open to, a new wave of energy coming in that's going to change your life in some way. This is like I said, this is the as above, so below. This is a big shift in cycle for the earth, and also for us. And it's a time to rebalance. It's a time to, shift your focus and your intentions from that inwardness of reflection. We've had so many planets in retrograde, like big planets in retrograde, these last 6 months. And what retrograde means is, it just means if you looked up and you could see them in the sky, it would look like they started spinning backwards. And what it does energetically for us when these big planets go into retrograde is it kind of does the same with us. It's like it influences us to kind of go inward and start to look at maybe some events that happened and we didn't get closure on them, so we kind of
time traveling backwards.
Oh, have you noticed time traveling backwards?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, your memories time travel backwards. So
yes.
I always know when you're reliving moments in your past, you're actually time traveling, because you're actually kind of shifting backwards in that timeline, and you're reliving that moment and deciding whether you could have fixed it or not, or fix it or get rid of it.
Yes. I love the way you describe that. And you're right. A lot of times, it does give us these opportunities. Like when you see certain planets in retrograde, sometimes like old lovers will call you out of the blue, or friends, will resurface, and you're like, oh, this is kind of odd, but it's almost like you get this do-over chance, things that haven't fully been closed, sometimes will resurface, whether it's just in your mind, like what Rhonda's saying, which sometimes that's all we need, right? It's just a matter of us having that opportunity to reflect and maybe, pull the lesson now that we've had some space and time, between the event, to see like, what was that all about? What do I really need to get out of it? But right now we have, well, for instance, in Aries energy, what's called a stellium of Aries energy. And what that means is we have a lot of planets right now in Aries. And we're also moving into this summer cycle of fire. When we look at the elements, summer obviously is represented by fire energy. And so Aries is fire energy. And so you are really going to get that second wind that you need to really kind of step up and step into your power and to really have the energy to make something happen in your life, to really make some shifts. So take advantage right now of that and, take some time. Like this is a big deal because, it's so much easier. I always think of like the energy that I talk about, like as like waves in the ocean, like surfing, like if you can find out what's happening and then, realize how I can use this to work in my life, then, it just flows. You get into that co-creative state. And so fire element is one of the most powerful elements, actually. It's used usually to cleanse, to release, to nourish your own power, right? To really fire yourself up, if you will. So you can set those intentions. And then I would recommend getting a crystal, something, orange or yellow.
Citron is so good for making citron is so good for abundance and manifesting abundance, and it also just reminds you of the sun and the joy. And I just love citron for that.
Yes, I discovered sunstone, and it's similar.
Beautiful.
Because I'm a Leo, my birthday's in August, and I'm ruled by the sun. That one you can't help but feel happy when you're holding, like you said, citrine or, sun. So what would you best, and Teresa, I know you guys are experts in the crystal world.
Carnelian is
that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah, we're thinking of that.
Carnelian's
But this
so
one,
good.
Funny enough, on the other side it says relax, and I'm trying to figure relax and get going. I don't know.
I love that. Yeah,
you can relax into it. You can relax into your power as well as rising into it. So it doesn't have to be such a forceful thing.
Well, yeah, you don't want to have anxiety and try to manifest and get your power. It doesn't work. They're two opposing things. So,
but what I love about fire energy is the passion. Whenever I hear about fire energy, it's all about the passion. It's following your passion, feeling passion, really putting yourself in it, and enjoying that, which can also turn into anger if you get a little too carried away. So be mindful of that. But yeah, fire energy is just, it can definitely just carry you if you let it.
So I wonder if that hits your sacral chakra. So if it's orange, it hits your sacral chakra. That's where the Dantian of storing life, where we store our chi? Is that maybe all connected that way?
Yes. The sacral chakra, for instance, in human design, which is what I specialize in, is the space where all creativity originates. I mean, when you think of a woman and you think of like her womb space, right? Where all life stems from, that we know it, in on our planet, is that sacral point, right? So yeah, the power, like you said, there's a reason why in, Qigong or Tai Chi or some of the, the martial arts, that cinnabar field is what they call the lower Dantian. And guess what? Cinnabar is red, so yeah, you're tapping into that because that is where you ground after any Qigong exercise. We always take it down and store it in that lower Dantian because it's purified energy at that point. And so, later throughout the day, if something comes up and you move to focus your attention on it, that power lies right there, in that lower Dantian. That's where you're going to pull, creativity, power, all of it. So thank you for bringing that up, Rhonda. I think that's a very important point. But yeah, take one of these crystals that we recommended, or find one that you connect with. I love what you said, Bex, about not forcing. Just this is nurturing Cancer right time. So this is the magic of just relaxing into co-creating with the earth. And so when you find your crystal, whichever one speaks to you, like, hold it, get to know it, hold it close to your heart and set an intention, and really imbue that intention into that crystal and then release it into nature, or, a natural atmosphere in your home. Like Rhonda mentioned citrine. I had taken a feng shui course as a part of my Qigong training. And so we ended up, I found citrine because it represents, wealth and abundance. And then I feng shuied my house and figured out which was money corner. And so I put the citrine into plant, into the soil, right? To kind of put the abundance into my home. And so I love that. I love anytime we can, do a beautiful ritual with intention. And like you guys were saying, it's really, we're learning more and more that it's not when we go to, this state of co-creating what we want. It is a little bit from the mind, because that's where we set the intention. But the majority of it is the body awareness. It's the emotional intention. It's the law of attraction, because our emotions and our energy that is in our energy field at any given time is what is interacting with the world around it. Because that's why, sometimes you don't even have to speak, but you can manifest, you can, for better or for worse, right, in your environment. You could give somebody a dirty look, without saying anything, and just shoot them like, a little blast of nasty energy, and then they're gonna, get fired up. And so, yeah, starting to really learn to drop down more and be in our bodies is so key. And we are going to be doing that more and more as we are being up leveled and our ability to hold consciousness, which is what's happening right now. Like if you're getting like headaches and things like that, try to shift your perspective to, it's opening up more bandwidth, so that I can hold more consciousness, because that's the direction we're going. Hi, Deborah. Oh, it's so good to see you on here. All the peeps today. Melinda, she has been, Rhonda, do you remember? Melinda was always the one by the water. Yep. They can only take so much. And she had this miraculous ability that she could find crystals and stones in nature, like just in the most random places that were shaped like hearts. Like I've never met somebody that was able to find as many heart-shaped rocks as Melinda. It was amazing. It's your superpower. So
Katie,
anyway.
can you tell us exactly what solstice is, for just like kind of describe what's actually happening? So, and how long that energy lasts, maybe? Like,
well, the solstice has to do with, the shift of the rotational poles of the earth, the magnetic poles. And it has to do with where the earth sits in relationship to the sun. And so for us on the northern hemisphere, that's why, right now, is the time where we're going to feel the most energetic, because we are, closest to the sun right now. And it's at its kind of peak moment on the solstice, because it's the longest day of light of the year. And then after that, as the earth continues to, rotate and do its thing, the days slowly get shorter and shorter and shorter until we move to the winter solstice, which, is, again, it's just kind of like a shifting of the seasons of the cycles based on where our planet is in relationship to the sun. And that's why, you just naturally in summertime, you're going to feel more jazzed. It's our 10 a day now. Oh, that's funny. But so yeah, we've got some other things going on too. Just to kind of bring up, I mentioned that stellium of Aries energy that we can really tap into. We have.
How long will that last? We were just, Lisa was asking how long that energy will last.
That is going to last. That's going to be here for, probably at least like a month. So yeah, you've got a good amount of time and it's already been, because, some planets are kind of stacking up, new, and then, some are going to start to, rotate out, because each of the planets kind of moves at a different speed. The outer planets very slowly. So that's why, when you do get a lineup like that, you usually have some of the outer planets, in there. And that's why it tends to last like, a few weeks coming in, and then they'll say, oh, everything's lining up, on this day. It's not like it just instantly goes away. You have like a few weeks on the other side. Hi, Kayla. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, that's so sweet. So yes, we have that going on. And then we also have Saturn is squaring the nodes of the moon right now. And so what that does is we've got all this Aries energy fired up. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the first one out of the gate. And that's why I said, this is really going to be great for you, as far as getting stuff done, starting new things. But what Saturn does, how it's going to be playing off, is that it's going to give you, because sometimes you have all this energy, right? And you start 5 things, but then you finish none of them, right? Because you're just kind of like,
yeah,
like
all day I do that.
Saturn is all about discipline. Saturn is going to give you that self-discipline, that focus to actually really get stuff done this time. And again, you've got, that kind of power energy mixing beautifully with this water, energy of the Cancer, that is going to be optimistic and, I just really shifting out of this anger and frustration and anxiety that we have been stuck in for a couple years now, and we still are. I just talked to somebody yesterday and they said, oh, the world's going to end, and like, what's the point of doing anything? The world's going to end. And so we need to watch our words, because that's energy, right? And if we are still putting that out, even if we're just thinking it, you know what I mean? Like it's energy, and we need to really take advantage of this boost that we've been blessed with, to kind of release some of that and to start being aware and shifting our reality to a more optimistic approach of what we can do to build a better future and to build a better. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, I think we can put, like, the old paradigm may end, but we're going to move into a new one. We're going to move from there. Concrete action, like you said, like, be who you want to see in the world. Like, so let's be that. Let's be.
Yes, it's my favorite quote for the last year is like, be the change that you want to see in the world. And it just takes one person, right? One at a time, because, when I get up and I set that intention and that focus, You could interact. You are unaware of how many people you actually interact and touch in a given day. 20 people. You're not always talking to them, but they pick up on your energy. 90% of what our nervous system is taking in at any given time in our environment is unconscious to us. Think about that. We are only we're so up in our heads that, trying to control everything, because that's what your mind does. It wants to keep you safe. So it's trying to control everything based on patterns of what's happened to you in the past. So you're never going to shift those patterns if you stay in this limited space. But if you start to learn to drop into your body, don't resist those emotions, don't shove them down, feel them. They are your compass. They are your body's wisdom and your intuition guiding you, like lean into that and let that be your superpower. You're going to tap into 90% more information. And it doesn't have to all be bad, like look at us, we're connected and, having fun and engaging with each other. It's finding your tribe, I love that things are shifting so much in the capacity to hold, the world is becoming such a melting pot of, you know what I mean? It's no longer like, oh, you're this color. Okay, you go over there. Oh, you're this, that, you stay over there. It's like, everything's kind of blending together. And so with technology, you can find your tribe. Look at us. We're like all over.
Run different time zones.
But that's okay. It doesn't matter, so when you
right. Yeah, no problem.
yeah, I mean, it's doable, so you're never alone. I just want to make sure everybody knows that you are never alone. There's somebody just like you out there trying to find somebody just like you, so do not give up. So yeah, we've got Saturn squaring the nodes of the moon, and then we've got Saturn and Jupiter are going to be traveling retrograde for much of this season. And that's what we talked about, where those are big planets, and that's going to give you some inner work, shining light, on, yourself, so that you can, you can heal, you can adjust, you can rework and glean, some lessons that you need to be able to move you into this new energy cycle that we are moving into, that is going to be more optimistic, that is going to be more calm. And we are going to take advantage of what's been given to us and put our intentions and add that in, right? And that's really going to bring that energy in nicely around the world. So I wanted to point out too, another interesting thing with the solstice is this is a time where the veil of the spirit world and the material world is very, very thin. And did you say something, Rhonda?
No, I just said, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Okay. So yeah, it's less separate. And so, it's this time of harmony. I'm here for the calm. There you go. Yeah, we need everyone to see that. That our mantra, right? Because we have so much to release. I just actually met a friend. She's got an office in a building complex, right? Where they have little business suites. So she's 2 doors down from an attorney. And she was telling me that she had bumped into the attorney, and the attorney was saying that that lawsuits, her business was up by like 40%. And she said, everybody is so angry and they just don't know what to do with it. And so they're just wanting to just control whatever they can, and just suing people for the most ridiculous reasons. And it's not even about, like the money or, whatever, them winning. It's like they just want to be able to like feel like they got control over something, so it's so silly when you think about it, because even if they do win, it's what going to give them satisfaction for a minute, right? Because if you have that underlying anger and you're just trying to, somehow think, oh, if I do this, then it'll go away. Well, the anger is so deep, and it's been 2-3 years now, that we felt like all of our control of, what we knew to be our world, has been kind of taken away. And we haven't dealt with that yet, and to an extent, depending on where we live, it's still going on. So vindictive undertone. Well said. Well said. I mean,
when you can see the fear,
empaths feel that, right?
you can definitely see the fear coming up with
Are you all empaths?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was something that I was going to mention earlier, was like the sensitivity, like I'm feeling more sensitive to everything right now. Went to the Apple store yesterday and felt my energy bottom out. It was my first time ever in an Apple store. I don't really go to those places, but it was full of people, the electronics everywhere, and I just felt completely lightheaded and sick. And I was like, I need to get out of here. And I went and found one of those massage chairs in the mall, and I sat and gave myself a massage and felt much better. But I was just like, wow, I haven't had that experience for years. But it was just like, everybody just feels so icky right now,
Yeah. No, if you're an empath, you are feeling it. It's an excellent example, Bex, because I literally feel like the collective anger and frustration and sadness, so much sorrow, so much loss, so much just
and fear, so much fear, because the financial situation of the world has really started to fall apart in a lot of ways, and people are panicking. There's like this mass panic happening right now. First it was medical, now it's financial. It's just like, all these things that people have really attached themselves to are falling away, but there's a panic with it.
Yes, I'm glad you brought up the financial, because you're right. Yeah, a lot of fear, and it will continue. That's the thing. Yes, Melinda, you guys should have Melinda on, because she's been through such a journey, and she is the epitome of, somebody that can show that you can rise above, anything that life throws at you that you have to deal with. If you're willing to lean in and to face it head on, and to not run away from it, and to do the hard work, because healing is hard work. Healing is not fun. Like I've lost my son, I'm still healing, Melinda's still healing, but most people put their toe in and it hurts so bad. They're like, F that, I'm out of here. Give me a pill I can pop, or, how do I check out with a bottle of wine or something? It's very, very hard long-term work. And you have to, work on it every day. But what we are finding as we go through this unraveling of, the crumbling of all of these structures that have held us in place for hundreds and hundreds of years, of course, you're going to have fear. Of course, panic. It's natural. There's no judgment there. We all have it. I don't even think you can call it mental illness anymore, because I don't know anybody at this point that does not have a certain amount of anxiety and depression. I mean,
that's what they want us to have. That's what they've been projecting on all sorts. If they can't get us one way, they've done it another way. If they've done it, and they are the ones who want to control us and keep us as little worker bees, and scared and in a pen, and that's where they want us to keep us, because they can control us there. And by just saying, screw that, and starting to live our own life and not hook into that hive mind, we can escape it, I think, for a while.
I saw a quote from Jim Carrey a while ago, something about how depression is basically when you've outgrown the avatar that you're trying to live. Like you've outgrown the life that you're living, and that's the thing, is that so many people are feeling stuck in lives that don't fulfill them, they don't serve them, and they don't know how to break free. And so depression, even in the schooling system, like these kids for the past 2 years have really become overwhelmed with anxiety and depression, because the schooling systems aren't fitting their needs. So, it starts from a young age now. And so they're saying, mental health crisis, but they're not doing anything different, and that's the big crisis, is that they're seeing it and they're not changing it. They're still expecting
it's always been there.
I know.
It's like all of a sudden, we all recognize it now.
Yeah.
It's always been there. That's where all of the untreated.
Yeah.
Or unrecognized.
It's humanity's evolving, but the systems aren't.
And so if we can shift our perspective of this fear and this panic, that because everything is kind of looks like it's absolutely crumbling, to it needed to happen. It's no longer working. We as a collective have outgrown the avatars. We are no longer the same species, really. I mean, think of the amount of evolvement since we went into the Industrial Revolution, 300-400 years ago, when we did go into let's max out the capacity of our minds, with science and technology. How far can we take it? Okay, well, we're seeing that we're kind of reaching that point. And when we get into the greater cosmic cycles, like with human design, obviously each person has their own individual energetic blueprint and design. And then we also have, universal type of shifts that happen about every, 400 to 500 years. The kind of things shift planetarily in a way that it changes our background frequency. And again, 90% of what we're taking in is this background frequency that we're not even really consciously aware of, but it does. It shifts our focus. It shifts, a lot of things about the way that we look and see and do. And that is shifting from, the mind awareness into the emotional, energetic, spiritual type of awareness. And, we haven't even tapped that, and we're starting to tap it. And that's what's happening. With me explaining a lot of stuff that's going on and how we're getting hit, we are being up leveled, as the Earth's frequency shifts and changes and, escalates, so does ours. We are so connected to the Earth, we don't even realize it. Our hearts emit the same Hertz frequency, the same exact level of Hertz frequency in a perfected state as the Earth. Now that is, in my opinion, just like miraculous. Like that is no mistake. So as all this stuff's, crumbling and people are just freaking out and just going out of their heads, out of their bodies, checking out in any way they can, what you need to be doing is grounding into the earth, because that is what is going to give you that strength and that resiliency. Working on yourself, like I think Rhonda, said, because we are moving into this new background frequency is all about self-empowerment. No longer going, oh, somebody else is going to save me. Like somebody sent me something just like the last week. And it was interesting, not to throw any more fear stuff out there, but it was this like a food commodities guy, expert guy, talking about the fact that we are probably going to have another food scarcity situation coming up here into fall, like into winter, because with the supply chain issues that have happened the last couple of years, like think about it, like 25% of the typical amount of fertilizer that would be put on crops didn't get out. And so you're going to have, when this next round of stuff comes up, you're going to have like 30% less crops. And then you've got Ukraine, has a lot of the wheat supply for the world. It has to put that out. You put this lineup, for, something to happen. So where his point was, when COVID was happening and, everybody was freaking out, it was like we were still able to rely on the government to some extent because they could always print more money, which they did a lot of that. Oh, yeah, exactly. Factories have been burned down. My friend that I had lunch with, she is way up high in the supply chain management. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, why are we still having problems? You know, like I'm so, you know, naive. And she's like, it's not, yes, supply chain, getting it in the actual trucks and stuff is a huge part of it. She said, but people don't even realize with climate change, you've got stuff happening now. Like, you know, there was a huge flood. She was telling me somewhere, like say in Germany, I don't even know, somewhere, you know, somewhere that control, like it just wiped out like an entire year's worth of some kind of crop. And then like Lisa said, you know, like all these things in addition to the supply chain. But basically, where the government can continue to print more money, if you reach a certain point of food shortage, you can't just print more food, right? You know, like, you know, some certain things you can't, you just can't fix all the way. And
No.
it's we're being presented with more and more situations that are ding, 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 ringing the bell. Listen up, guys. You need to start being self-aware, self-empowered, resilient, you know, like not necessarily just laying on your back, you know, with your feet in the air going, somebody save me, you know, like just to put that out there, you know, this is what.
Part of it's growing your own garden when you can. Part of it's not wasting your food when you have it. Because I know there is a statistic out there, I think it's 55% of our food is thrown away.
Wow.
So there's a lot of food that just goes into food scraps. Just look at your garbage and see how much stuff you buy and then you throw it away a week later because you haven't used it or you haven't used it up. So yeah, there'll be supply chain problems, and maybe that'll put us into the point of conserving rather than wasting, because we are a wasteful society. When we have lots, we throw it away. We waste it. We waste time. We waste food. We waste, you know, gas. We waste all sorts of things. Think of all the people that just idle their car because they want their air conditioner on. Well, turn down your windows and get out. Like, I don't know. Anyways, but you can see how we're so wasteful. And we've been wasteful in a throwaway society for so long. So maybe this is telling us to be self-sufficient, yes, but also stop wasting so much. Stop wasting all the resources you have at your fingertips. Use that energy to start making soup out of your scraps, like cleaning up. Plant a little planter so you have some tomatoes outside. These aren't hard things, you know. Just
you know what I've done? I'm not good at completing this. Remember, I'm a starter, not a finisher. But I got these at the end of the lettuce, you know, that little part where it's been cut off the roots. When you're done with your lettuce, you can put that in water and it grows the cutest little leaves up and stuff. It keeps on going. So there's even plants, a whole bunch of them that once you have them, you can keep growing them eternally, you know, just clip off what you need and it keeps growing. So that's another way.
So Teresa, if you take just the little bottom of the lettuce and you put it in water, it'll grow a lettuce plant?
Yeah. Can I show you guys? You guys keep talking and I'll go get it. I'll show you.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that. See, look at all the stuff we're learning. And
Nancy, that tea, you can do with that. Yeah, you can do all sorts of things. I mean, let's just look at what we can harvest out in our front yard. I'm sorry, I won't repeat this, but the dandelion grows and everybody's spraying it to get rid of it. Like, dig up that sucker, make your coffee and your tea out of the root. Like, use the plants in your lettuce, or if you don't really like the taste of dandelion leaves, put them in your freezer and then put them in your smoothie. You won't taste them, but they're so good for you. That dandelion grows everywhere, and it's like one of the best plants in the world. What's up with you? Aww.
That's amazing.
See how they grow, though? It's not like a head exactly, but it's still growing the leaves and getting bigger and bigger. And I could take it out and show you the other one. See, it's just the bottom. When you're all done with it, you just set it in a little bit of water because you don't want too much because it'll spoil. So just enough water to get it going. And I assume at some point that we're going to have to transplant it or something.
Yeah, anytime now you could put it in lots of wet soil and start it out in the sun.
Okay, so I do this to green onions and lettuce, and I think I can do it with celery.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
And then you can just plant it out at some point into the soil and just keep it going. I love that. Well, look at this.
Sorry,
I love it.
that's so far. Sorry, we're just getting off track. But anyways, you're right.
No,
It's taking the control back. It's taking the control
Yeah.
back of ourselves.
yes.
And not saying somebody else is going to save us. Right back to whatever.
Yes.
The person we look in the mirror at is the one who's going to save us.
That is right. And what we're finding out, is that our power lies in our difference. Like, society has just ingrained in us that everybody needs to look alike and do the same thing, right? And God forbid you don't fit in with the society, the standards, like then you're just kind of off on your own. That's how you feel. But instead of that competitive, like, yeah, there's 20 people, wanting to have this one job because they all have trained for this, one little skill. And so they're competitive and they're trying to cut each other down to, get ahead of the other one. If we leaned into our unique strengths and applied them in a way that made us happy and fulfilled, which you're starting to see the great resignation era, that people are going, you know what? No, I'm done, doing this way. It brings me no joy. These are my passions. What can I do to build those up? And it's okay that I do things a little different than this guy. Because back in the day when people traded their skills, right? Like the carpenter was a carpenter and the plumber was a plumber, and that's how everybody contributed. And you didn't have that intense competition and that like lack mentality, it's that hive mentality of everybody coming together, but in a unique way and just collaborating and building each other up. That's the future that we are stepping into, that we are creating, right? And start with your crystal that we talked about, start now and bury that sucker like Teresa did, put it in water, put it, in a plant or put it out in the earth. And the more that we can do things like that, or drop it in the ocean, or like Melinda was saying, like a river, just putting that out, and starting to harmonize and tap into the power of Mother Nature to nourish, to, grow, to expand, instead of depleting. We will create some major shifts in the world, and it will be a better place. And I just wanted to point out, into July, we have Uranus that is going to be conjunct touching our North Node collectively. North Node, South Node of the Moon is where we've come from. North Node is always where we are aspiring to go, where we are being called to go. North Node is tied into our karma, it's tied into our spirituality. Like I said, Uranus is electric, like Rhonda was saying with the electrical storm. It's that sudden change, like it just, if it's not working, boom, here's a new opportunity. And Uranus represents freedom, feeling just free to just do whatever it is that is calling you. And so this is going to be a huge push for us. You will be attracting lessons into your life that open our minds to change, to progress, to, innovation, like what Teresa just came up with, like that one little thing that she thought, oh, there's an innovation. Like what if I put this in water and, oh my gosh, look at that. I'm growing lettuce. Like, and like you're just, all of these things that are breaking down because we aren't going to tolerate them anymore, right? And we want to be free, all of this control, like you were mentioning, Rhonda, like, it's coming to the surface. We are here on purpose at this very time. Stuff is needing to come up from the depths, to be looked at. Does this still allow us to, live in a functional way, where we can be free and we can feel fulfilled and feel like there's meaning and matter, instead of being pounded down like it's got to be this way or nothing, so just planting that seed for you guys. If you run up against a situation where you're just like, ew, like this, just, I feel trapped. This doesn't feel good. You can really tap into, wait, let me just look at this and how can I, shift this? What's a new way to see this? What would make me feel the most free, in this situation? And, go from that angle and see where it takes you. Because the universe is always guiding us. And if that is where the energy is this summer, like, you're going to find that you're just going to want to feel, free. You're going to want to look for, ways to kind of experience that energy. I know we're getting kind of close to the end. I
was wondering if you had a little bit of biotones, and then we can tell everybody a little bit, like just a shorty, so a balancing biotones.
Because I came up with a great list. For anybody that hasn't, seen me on here before, I'm known for human design and then also biofeedback work, because, we are energetic beings. And when you can learn to align, your mind with your body, with your energy field, that's when you get into that state of flow, right? And you're not having any resistance in your body, wondering why you've got tight muscles, because your body's resisting what you're trying to force it to do. And so the biofeedback work, it basically works with perfected Hertz resonances. And I've got thousands of them. Mind, body, and energy. And so when you listen to these tones, they help bring your body back into resonance and harmony. They create balance in the body, because a lot of the tones that I do are focused on where you might, be off energetically in your body. So I wanted to just I did pull a card when I was working up the solstice. And I pulled it from, let me get the angle right. Sorry. I pulled it from this deck because this is really tied into nature and the elements. And it was interesting. I got the Water Guardian, which is funny because at first I was like, oh, we're going into this fiery cycle. But then I'm like, no, we've got that, remember that Cancer, that watery energy that the solstice, that's what activates the solstice, right? And we were just talking about how we have so many deep buried emotions, and we need to be releasing that. So I just want to bring that up. So as you are listening to these biotones, if emotions are coming up, let them, breathe into them. And we will get through this by releasing that negativity and letting it go and feeling like it's a safe time to do so. We are being held in this beautiful energy that we've been talking about all hour. And we are looking towards, freedom and creativity and connection and all things good. So I have some frequencies. I'll post this and list it in the comments so you guys can go back and know exactly all the frequencies that you're going to be hearing. But putting minerals back into your body, that's so important for your magnetism, because minerals are magnetic. Opening up the heart meridian and all of the fire element meridians. Those are the electrical energetic systems within your body, and doing some color energy for the summer. And let's just go ahead and start to just sit back. If you can, try to put your feet on connected with the ground, because this is a really important time to ground into the earth so that we can release what we need to release and take in the support and the nourishment that we need right now. And go ahead and start by just closing your eyes and taking a few nice, deep, letting go breaths, letting all the resistance that's come up this week, all of the areas where you've just felt like you've hit a wall, just letting that all go out of your body with your exhale. Bringing your attention inward, opening up your heart space. Remember that when we can get our hearts in resonance with the earth, it will shift everything for you. So starting to calm your body down and opening up your heart, seeing that beautiful spark, that unique, brilliant soul that is your unique fingerprint that you brought into this world right here, right now. There is no mistake that you are here. You are here for a reason. You matter. Start to let that expand within your energy field so that the entire room that you are in is now lit up in the most luminous, brilliant, white, golden light. And as you connect this beautiful light down through your feet, dropping down, feeling that magnetic pull of the earth, pulling you to her beautiful crystalline core, seeing yourself plugging your light into the core of the earth, starting to acclimate with her energy, and feel that energy now starting to move up that column of light that you've created. Bring it back into your physical being, into your energy field, and continue moving that light up and out the crown of your head, connecting into the central sun. Just feeling that electricity, that plasma charge, just like recharging every cell in your body. Feel the warmth of the sun giving you everything you need to sustain yourself. There was a point in time where humans didn't need food. They existed like the plants on the earth and drank the dew and absorbed the light from the sun. So pull that down into your being. Let it warm your heart. Drop it down even lower into those lower chakras and warm your belly, giving you all that creative energy, that spark of innovation, really starting to turn all of the beautiful emotions that we talked about today, turning those up, amplifying what you want. Start to think about the intentions of what you want to set forth to build and to create this next 6 months. What is the theme for 2022 that you want to imprint? That long, cold winter that we sustained is behind us now. You can let it go. Call back in all of your power. Anywhere you've scattered it, anywhere you've let somebody take it away from you, with all of those planets in Aries, calling your power back now. Listen to these tones and absorb them. Let them saturate your systems for another minute. About 15 more seconds. Go ahead and take one more nice deep breath before you open your eyes. Just letting all of those energetic shifts settle deep into your body, deep, deep into your bones. Wow, that I just felt like a total recharge. I don't know. Did you guys have any sensations or visualization?
It's awesome. It just felt like straight,
Yeah.
like just coming in.
Beautiful.
I felt it like raining down on me, like it was like a golden rain just coming down. Like as my eyes were closed, I wasn't really visualizing anything, but I could see the energy just going. That's just
Can I ask you to do us all a favor? And I don't know. I know you have a private group called Discover Your Design, and you invite everybody to come in and join your group.
Yes.
Could you post that in your, like, just the tones in your Discover Your Design group, and people can join your group to get to listen to it at any time they want to get like another recharge? Because of course I like to listen to it at night when I'm not flipping here and there, and I can be more concentrated. Or oftentimes I'll just put it on repeat so I can listen to it. Like those downloads you send us from your Patreon group.
Yes.
You know, music, I just put them on my computer and play them all day in the background so I can get just absorbed by that.
Gosh, that's genius. I love that you
play it to my water. So I play it to it's like on my song play to the water, the biotones and the the hertz frequencies. I play it to my water so they can absorb it. And then when I drink it, I drink it in. So, I don't know.
That's so cool that you do that, because one of the my fellow practitioners, she did a study. You know how Hashimoto did the study with water and frequency would organize it. She did that with the biotones and you froze the water, and it would blow you away, the chaos of the structure of the water that was just standard versus the water that had been immersed in the biotones. It was completely organized and in specific geometric shapes. So yes, our bodies are 80% water, right? It's so smart that you do that. Yes, please, everybody. Discover Your Design is my Facebook group. I would love to have you join. I post tones every week in the group. And then I also have Patreon that Rhonda mentioned, patreon.com/Katie Steinle. I have some beautiful offerings, and we get together once a month, just to talk about the energy and do work like this and support each other. Nancy's buzzing. Nancy's in the group too, Nancy and Rhonda. So yeah, you have some instant friends if you came and joined us over there. You guys, this is so much fun. It's like, where did the time go?
So we have a request, and you can think about it, but Bex is going away for 3 weeks in August. So we were going to ask you as, co-host with one of us.
Oh, that would be fun. You know what? I think I could do that. I'm just trying to think of if I'm traveling or doing anything in August, but depending on the days, that would be great.
First 3 weeks, Bex, you're away and having your vacation time.
Yeah.
So we let Bex go on vacation, and Teresa's not going to be with us next week because we let her go on vacation too every once in a while. So
you got to do these things, right? Talk about recharge.
So we were recharging. So yeah, that's awesome. And Bex, you have a couple of questions for Katie before.
I think I only have one question for her.
Yeah, one question.
I'm only doing one today because she already answered the other ones before. So, what is your favorite crystal that you're working with right now?
It's interesting. I'm working with selenite, which connects us. It talk about the veil being thin, right? And my son is on the other side of the veil. Oh, you have it. Yeah. And so selenite is just, oh gosh, look at that beautiful chunk. I can't get enough of it. And you guys, I have a selenite lamp. Yes, my lamp looks like what you. Oh my God. See, we are all working with selenite right now. But seriously, you guys, my son, communicates with me every day. He works with me now. I channel him in my sessions. And so, I love my selenite to connect with him. But his message is that we are not alone. Like, he's like, Mom, if you could see how many spirits are on, this side that are just wanting you to succeed, making things happen, supporting you. Like, even if you don't have access to selenite, just, you can tap into that through just us even opening the conversation up right now. And speaking of, I just have to share, because Nancy's on this story super quick. I just got this beautiful painting. It reminds me, I live in Seattle. It reminds me of the Washington coast. Rhonda, this is what when you come visit me, this is what it's going to look like when we go to the ocean. And I got it because it struck my eye. I've created this space in between dimensions where Parker and I can meet halfway. And so this is what I had created in my mind. And it's an infinite ocean and a sunrise. And I'll go and Parker will come and we just sit on the beach. And it's this just beautiful energy exchange. Well, I hadn't said anything, but that was, why I got the picture. And Nancy had, I caught some of my biotones, and she noticed the painting, and she said it halfway through the meditation, she kind of opened her eyes and she said, Katie, I saw so many, the room was full of light beings, and I could just see the outline of them in light. And she didn't know the story. And when she said that, I said, oh my gosh, I got this, because it represented this portal. But just know there are so many ways that you can connect with spirit. And, if you have lost somebody and the veil is thin, this is a beautiful time, to do that and create your own magic, a way of staying connected. So I just wanted to share that out because I thought it was such a beautiful story, that an experience that Nancy had.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
So, Max, who was the winner?
The winner of last week's Share It Out is Lisa Carpenter, and she's going to get the Soul Spa meditation. So congratulations, Lisa. Very exciting.
Congratulations.
And I just wanted to say before we close out, happy Juneteenth to everyone who celebrates. It's an important day as well. It's a celebration of the end of slavery. So it's a big day today too as well. And yes, happy Father's Day to all who celebrate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have something I want to show. Somebody, one of our audience members has sent me a gift, and I kind of want to show it.
Oh, awesome. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, talk about that Cancer energy in the water and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it has from a statue that had tears of Mother Mary. Yeah, see, that's what reminded me of the picture. It's got that on here, some of the tears from the statue, and another one. You can smell it. Here, smell. Try to see. I don't know how to describe it, but isn't it neat? So I wake up every morning with a little bit of Mother Mary and some turtles and mermaids.
That is gorgeous.
So sweet. So sweet. It's lovely.
That was Gina Palazzo.
Palazzo? Oh, nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. Next week we'll have Kelly on. Kelly Leaning from
Germany. Gosh.
Yeah.
I love the way.
Yeah, so it's been a while coming, but we finally, I said, yeah, come on, Kelly. So she's coming on, so that'll be awesome. So she get to bathe in her light too. So thank you so much. I feel the summer sun in you today. So soon you'll be able to come and visit with it. Oh, we don't need vaccinations as of Monday to get on. Yay. There's Kelly. Hello, Kelly saying yay. So we'll see Kelly on Tuesday, hopefully, for lunchtime meeting. But yeah, awesome. You don't know that yet, Kelly, but that's what I'll be sending. Anyways, if she can make it. Otherwise, good enough. Thanks so much, and see you next week, everyone. And remember, check us out on the podcast too, as well as our YouTube station. Please just pop over there for a minute. Rate one of our Apple podcasts or wherever you get your podcast for them, and just rate it. It takes 2 seconds. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel because that helps us get our numbers up. And watch the Breakthrough Show this week. It's on the Breakthrough Show Network. Sorry, Breakthrough Show Network on the YouTube channel or at the website. And Project Joy is every morning live at 8 a.m. and they have a whole lineup of guests this week. You can check it out in our story. I put up the poster for this week. Thank you very much, Project Joy, and Jessica and the Breakthrough Show Network for coming on and taking us on, because we just love you guys. And just more light, like you said, Katie, spread our light, make more in the world. And that's awesome. So take care, everyone. See you next week.